We should.
For a point of the DM inspiration, I know it's been a while, but who could give us a recap of our previous session here in Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden?
I'll do it if unless someone else wants it, in which case we can roll for it.
I'm all full, so if someone else can take it that needs it.
I mean, I don't need it.
Well, that might have it.
You know what? No. I could get a 20. It could happen, and then we roll for it. So I roll.
I'd like to see.
I don't think it will, but we'll see. Yeah, 20 beats a 9.
I guess we will be listening to the recap done by Alicia. So please take it away.
Alright, well, last time on Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, we were outside of this domed ice structure. I believe this was the lair of a frost giant by the name of Gargai. I think that may have been it. But it was definitely being used by the two winter wolves that we had encountered earlier, Kanan and Koran. We still had Kanan chained up and with us. He said that the 3 passages within the structure would lead to different areas. One to the main lair, where the frost giant would be. Another one to, it seemed like a whale that was killed and just stewing in its own decaying juices. And then the other one was where the 2 children were being holed up. So we decided to just go for the kids, because honestly that was the whole point of our task here. So we were able to sneak inside successfully, and then saw that Silja and Finn were inside this rather large cage. It was rusted, but small enough that they couldn't escape on their own. So, using a little bit of, well, oil and Gaiman's bulging muscles, we were able to pry open the cage and get both of the kids out. And everything was going smoothly. A little too smoothly, as you would think. And that's when the other winter wolf jumped us. Tried to free its... I'm not even really sure what they are. Siblings? Companions? Let's just say the other one. Tried to free him and tried to fight us. Again, we were prioritizing getting the kids out of there, so Avalas turned into a horse and was able to ride off to bring them over to where our B team was, and then rode back to us to help us out. It seems all of the commotion of the little fray that we were having woke up what was inside the structure. And it was not a frost giant. It was a woolly mammoth. Was not expecting that at all. And it was a talking woolly mammoth. Another one of those awakened creatures. So somehow we were able to kind of stop hostilities and talk to it and try and get a little bit of an understanding of what was going on. But yeah, it seems like the frost giant Garagai has been dead for quite some time, actually. And the mammoth and the wolves were pretty much the only ones that were there. We were able to work out an agreement that they would not bother Dugan's Hole any further, as long as Dugan Hole doesn't bother them, essentially. I'm not 100% sure. I think Gaiman was still upset at the wolves, but we were able to calm him down and to get everyone on the same page that this is probably for the best at the moment, seeing as we were not expecting to to really fight up against all of that. At least not at this time. I think those wolves still need to be dealt with, but that's for a later date. So we went back to Dugan's Hole with the kids in tow. Spoke to the speaker, Egra, about what happened. She called their mom. They got a talking to. Their mom Hilda gave us a pair of boots for reward, and that's pretty much where we left off.
That was perfect. Please take a point of DM inspiration. You may need it for tonight's session.
Oh, that's not ominous.
I should stop saying that. I say that in all my games, so maybe I should stop. Okay, now that we have completed our recap, we should move on to the next portion of our game, the Factspiration question. So, for our Factspiration question for this evening, what was the name of your first pet? It's an easy one. Let us start with Akia. Akia, can you tell us about the name of your first pet?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Akia's only pet that Akia has ever had is a bee in Goodmead that they think they might have been able to recognize, but it was just named Bee.
It wasn't named Eric.
Nope, it was a very specific bee, maybe.
Now, be honest. What was that bee's personality?
It was a little lazy and seemed to like the just the surface of Akia's metal in particular. Just was not working on those flowers at all.
I gotcha. Well, you have earned Factspiration, so let me toggle you and get that on. Now, I wanted to mention, you should now see everyone on your character sheets. I enabled this module. It's the downtime module. If you are crafting anything or working on things like that, or training any skills, you can use that downtime tab to add things to that tab so that you can keep track of those things a little bit simpler. Cool. Let us continue. Let us move forward to the White Lotus. Lotus, tell us about your first pet.
All right. I don't know if this really counts as an answer for this, but I'll go ahead and say it anyway. For Lotus growing up as a poor girl with a single mother in Baltimore, she never really had a pet of any kind. Like, whenever mom did, she'd always talk about how they couldn't afford it when she was younger, and as she got older and entered her more teenage rebellious phase, her mother would be like, well, not only can we not afford it, but you clearly can't handle the responsibility. So basically she never really had a pet growing up, and it's just one of the many things that even to this day is still a point of contention between her and her mother.
It's a hard thing to let your kids have a pet, so I could see it, but sometimes you gotta trust them. You have earned Factspiration. Let us continue to Avalas.
Well, despite Avalos being really good with animals, you would think that he would have had pets, but being raised by Yeti, animals there don't tend to have a very long shelf life. So, unfortunately, he's never had a pet that he's been able to keep long enough to give a name without it being put into the equivalent of a soup pot.
Oh no. Well, maybe Avalas can find something new to be his pet, like a berry bush.
Yeah, he's always on the lookout for a snowy owl, so we'll see what happens.
Fair enough.
An evil snowy owl would go along with that evil berry bush.
Likely.
Well, you have earned Faxpiration. Let us move now to Gaiman the Glaive. Tell us about your first pet.
Yeah, I've actually never had a pet. So like, my, family or whatever, like, it was only useful animals when we were travelling about. And, look, I never had time or room or money. But yeah, a pet just wasn't in the cards when I was in, Waterdeep. So yeah, never had a pet.
Well, hopefully we can change that for everyone. I want everyone to have a pet. I don't know why, I just want you guys to all have pets. Pro. Excellent. Well, we have been charged with Faxpiration, we've been charged with DM Inspiration, and I believe I should take us now to the hamlet of Dugan's Hole, where the heroes of our story are discussing, potentially, their next moves.
Can you get rid of this weird animation on me?
I can.
Thank you.
I'm trying. My cat keeps walking right in front of the computer as I go to do the things. Let's see. It's not in sequencer, end all. There we go.
So I've got the one item that I'm working on is this dagger in my inventory. Not sure what to set the progress to, but I am at 11 out of 51 hours required. But I'm not sure how that translates to number of ability checks.
And this was the ghoul dagger?
Yeah, the ghoul claw dagger.
No problem. I will update that recipe for you in just a moment. Heroes, as you are standing, I would say in Dugan's Hole near the speaker's home, it looks like everyone roughly is looking pretty fresh and peckish. Your companion, Danica Greysteel, would approach you all. A welcome companion here in these dark times. You would see that underneath her furry coat pops out the heads of the Chawinga that you rescued not so long ago. And she would ask you, Heroes, I am wondering, we've completed this job here in Goodmead. There are a few other things happening around the Dale. What threads do you pull next in this dark time?
Well,
Those dwarves have definitely been waiting impatiently for us to get that iron.
they have.
The Battlehammer clan. On the way back, we're going to be following the shore of Redwaters for a while. If Copper is still interested in getting that ice toad mucus, we could see if we come across any tracks.
As you mentioned the ice toad mucus, your friend, Mr. Nabaknocker, would poke his head into the conversation. And I'm going to delete his token on the map and drop a new one here. And he would say, "Oh, you're thinking about going after the Ice Toad King, then, for his mucus?"
I would avoid the king, if possible.
But the king has the most strong and thick mucus of them all. I think to go after just a normal grunt would do us a disservice. Don't you think, everyone? He says to everyone standing nearby.
Well, I think that would mean what you mean by, go after. I mean, you know more about these creatures than I do. Do you think they would be amicable to just, giving up such a thing?
I mean, is this something that can be easily extracted, or is it something that has to be harvested from a corpse?
They constantly excrete mucus from their skin. However, I would be more concerned with the Ice Toad King being roughly as powerful as a dragon. I'd rather just avoid that if possible.
Where is your sense of adventure, Akia? Come on, we have to go after the biggest, baddest toad we can to get as much and pure mucus as possible. Think about it.
Yes, this is rather, big words coming from the one who's not having to put his nose on the line to get it.
He says, if you want me to tear up this B-team contract and be active on the field of battle for this, I will do it for the mucus. He looks at you with the gaze of conviction as he says so. And in that moment, you believe him, that he will tear it up so that he may get the mucus he was after.
That's a bit drastic.
If we encounter one, I could just use magic. To, befriend the beast.
I guess that could work. And if it fails, well, there's always Plan B.
Which is what now?
Akia, you know what Plan B is, right? He stares at the device that he gave you.
The knobber knocker.
He nods. That indeed.
So, just to ask, how does that actually work?
Well, have you ever made a simple potato cannon?
No, I have not.
It's a similar process, but we have aimed its destructive power at one sensitive organ. That is what gives it its effectiveness. He looks to you, Akia. Akia, have you shown them the full power of the knobber knocker?
Trying to remember, I missed against the wolves, but I think I might have hit Torga?
Well, it sounds like we might need a demonstration. Here. And he strides out in his teddy bear fursuit that stretches from his head to his toes, keeping him quite warm. He unbuttons the front to reveal a metal codpiece that he has designed just for this situation. He says, if you think it is proper, unleash the cannon now and show them its power.
It only fires once a day.
He says, this is one of those situations where we don't have to worry about that.
All
It's
right.
all for flavor. So you guys see the knobber knocker launch out at knobber knocker's knobber and strike him right in the metal portion of his codpiece, taking 20 piercing damage. He drops to the ground. He slowly stands up and says, you see, with that in tow, we don't have to worry about any toads.
Okay. Question. Does that... I'm not a biologist, so I'm not exactly sure of toad anatomy. Do they have their nuts hanging out so visibly that this would work?
He says, I'm actually not really an expert on that either. Who should we ask about this? Is there anyone here that is an expert on nature and biology?
I mean, I've
This
seen
is
toads before.
Nakia actually is very very knowledgeable about nature, but they're just like this conversation is getting a bit ridiculous. We can the effectiveness of the knobber knocker aside, we can just go and see if we can track down any toads.
Sure. You did say it was probably along the way, right? In the direction of the ingots?
If we are traveling the way we came before, where we travel along the red waters between here and Goodmead, we will be traveling through the domain of the ice toads the entire way. We could come across one at any point between here and Goodmead.
Well, I'm not opposed to this.
Oh, we just finished a long rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Alicia and Avalos, you both have like these spring-activated extra deflectors on your shield. Lotus, I don't have anything that you could use. Gaiman, you have a +1 javelin that returns to your hand, and if anyone wants to keep those items, roll a d20.
Oh, we all need to roll a d20?
Yeah, anyone that wants to keep their item has to roll a d20.
Low's good, right?
Yep.
Avalos and Alicia, both of your shields, the spring activated deflectors just spring off, and like too much tension in those. I'll fix those next time. You do not have +1 shields today.
All right.
Gaiman, your javelin is a +1 javelin of returning.
Cool.
So as you are sorting out your magical items, Danica would announce to the party. So it sounds like we are finding toads and then solving this issue for the... Well, it sounds like there's 2 clans of dwarves here, really. It's the Battlehammer dwarves and the Black Iron dwarves.
Was it 2 clans?
Well, it's the Black Iron Blades is like the shop dwarves, and then the Battlehammer clan is the ones that were transporting the iron. If I have it correct in my notes and didn't mix it up.
I believe you are correct, Akia.
Yeah, the Black Iron Blades was the blacksmithing, and Battlehammer were just transporters.
Yeah, they're like in business together though.
Yeah. But I didn't realize there were 2 different clans.
Speaking of which, I actually wanted to talk to Copper about that. Copper, I was thinking I would like to distance myself from my past and move into a new phase of invention. And I was thinking the best way to do that is with branding. How about you've got a bear outfit, you've got bear pajamas, I've got bear pajamas. I was thinking a new brand name. Kuma brand. And the insignia would be the silhouette of a bear.
I gotta tell you, I like the idea. I like it a lot. And he goes to give you one of those son of a bitch handshakes.
All right, Akia can take that.
So you guys see Akia and Mr. Nabernacker grab arms and shake them violently as they've come up with this new kind of harebrained scheme. Now, as this is happening in the background, I would love to hear what's going on currently with the Lotus, because we haven't heard about she is up to quite yet this afternoon here of the 1st of Marpanoth.
All right. I would say as everyone's getting together, I would say that she makes a bit of a suggestion. She's like, everyone, I know we've been traveling together for a little while, and I think I have an idea for a little bit of a game that we can play to help get to know each other a little better, if you'd all be up for it.
Go on.
Sure, and you see her reach into her side pack, and she'll put down on the table 5, presumably one for each of us, 5 20-sided die, and they say, the game is called What the Fuck Is Up With That? You see, each of us will roll one of these, and she picks up one of the die. Whoever rolls the highest asks a question of whoever rolls the lowest. Now, the thing is, the person answering does have to answer truthfully, but I'll say amongst us that, you know, if it's something you don't feel comfortable answering, I say you can choose to refuse that as well. But the big thing is, hence the name of the game, the person asking has to include the phrase, what the fuck is up with that, in their question.
Interesting. So this is like a variation of, well, I wouldn't say so much truth or dare, just more truth, but I'm game.
Your NPCs will gather around as well. We are all interested to hear exactly what you all are gonna say, says Dale, as he gathers around close to Blarton.
Oh, and I can't forget that trinket thing before we leave too.
Mm-hmm. Here, I'll do this in the chat.
All right, so Lotus sort of takes up a position since he suggested as referee. She's like, okay. Looks like first up we got Akia. You can ask Alicia.
Oh, okay. I didn't see everybody. All right.
Oh.
Let's see. Oh yeah, those were the rolls for the magic items.
Oh, that. Okay, never mind then.
Yeah,
Try again.
everyone's still rolling. Gaiman hasn't
All right,
rolled.
so
Is
5.
Gaiman gonna play?
I mean, is this after we've come back and...
This is after the long rest, I believe.
Okay,
So it's like the next morning.
So, did I have a good night's rest, DM?
Let's take a quick pause in the action as the dice are being rolled out onto the table, just to reaffirm what happened to Gaiman during his sleep. Gaiman, you did not have a vision during your sleep. However, it was hard to rest as you had a burning sensation about your forehead. When you did finally get to rest, it was filled with tosses and turns. No mechanical negatives to your rest, but you've always felt at the bridge of your mind as if a familiar presence was trying to make its way back in. Now, in the morning when you awake, I think we've asked this question before, but does Gaiman ordinarily stop to see exactly what they look like in the mirror?
Not normally, no. But I mean, if he's had a burning sensation on his forehead and it's still like it's painful, he might seek out a mirror to be like, "What's going on?"
Okay, Gaiman, as you approach the mirror to see what's been going on, something different is staring back at you in the mirror. The familiar shapes of the protruding veins, the cat-like islets have stayed relatively the same. What's new? 2 horns are starting to grow out of your forehead.
Well, Gaiman's just gonna stare at that and not really know how to process that. Because it's not something you can ignore. Yeah, but he's just not wanting to deal with anyone or anything, so... Yeah, he's just gonna continue about his business.
Excellent. Well, would Gaiman join the others here in the speaker's home to kind of regroup and get set up for their next adventure here in Icewind Dale?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I feel it's dramatic timing. It's perfect. So, Lotus, you say this this game, and as the game is getting ready to get set up, door opens, Gaiman walks through, and Gaiman, if you're not hiding your new appearance, I believe everyone would see Gaiman's new visage.
Now would be an excellent time for someone to, exclaim, "What the fuck is up with that?" I'm just putting that out there.
That's true. That's true.
I think Akia just stands up abruptly and just sort of leans forward a little bit. Not approaching, just leans forward a little bit. And sits back down.
Wait, does Akia just do the lean from Smooth Criminal?
Basically, yes.
It sounds like
it. Sits right back down in their seat.
Interesting.
Lotus look over, say, Gaiman, you're just in time. I was just proposing a game to everyone, and she says this, and you can tell she's very clearly staring at you.
Oh, like a drinking game.
Not exactly. It's more of a dice rolling game, so we can try to get to know each other better. And
Wait, are you talking about gambling? I don't fucking gamble with my money.
Oh no, there's no money. You're just, and she's just staring like, I'm sorry, game. I have to say this. Like, what's going on with you? You got these things growing out of your head.
Yeah, the horns.
Is this part of the game?
No, I don't. I don't know what the fuck's going on with this game business. I thought we had business to take care of.
Yes, I just figured it was a good thing to do to just sort of like pass the time while everyone was getting ready. We just roll the die. Whoever rolls highest asks a question of whoever rolls the lowest.
I mean, whatever. Just roll one of these things, and Game will pick up one of the dice, and he'll just sort of like, it'll like roll off his hand and just kind of like drop more or less. All right, 17.
17. All right, so let me scroll
What
back
did
up.
I win?
You don't at the moment, but maybe with next round. So, all right, let me roll back up here. Let's rewind.
like Avalos
Okay,
got the
so it looks like
highest.
first round. Avalos, you can go ahead and ask me whatever you like.
Where did you get these dice? What the F is up with that?
All right, that's a fair question. Well, I was buying some rolling papers and tobacco during one of my usual trips to the general store in Brinshander, and I just saw these in the clearance section. You know, the owner was looking to get rid of them. Apparently, he said a bunch of other adventurers who had passed through long before the long winter started had sold them off to him, and honestly, he didn't really have much use for them, so I was able to get them for just a couple copper pieces. Alright, so that's good. Alright, so I guess we can go ahead and start a new round. So just picks up the dice and gives it a roll.
One of your companions, Blarton, will say, so now is it Avalus's turn?
Alright, some more low rolls here. I think we can fudge the rules a little bit since I answered last time. I don't want to hear. So, in this case, we'll say, Akia, you can go ahead and ask Avalos something. Or, I'm sorry. Akia, you can go ahead and ask Gaiman something.
I don't know if
Gaiman just, Akia just looks back and forth. I am not sure what to ask.
Well, you know, is there anything about Gaiman you've been curious about that you haven't been able to ask him before?
Maybe something new. Just off the top of your head, maybe.
Gaiman, your favorite food, what is that?
I'm honestly trying to think what Gaiman's favorite food would be.
Roast mutton.
You know, that does sound good. It's been a while since I've had some good roast lamb.
I will tear some up time so that I can get an idea of what the would be like.
All right, good, good. All right, so let's go ahead and start a new round and roll it. All right, looks like I'll be asking Alicia. All right, so I guess something I'm kind of curious about, Alicia. You know, you've seemed to be very good at, helping other people and sometimes maybe playing matchmaker, but, you never really seem to be interested in, romance or that sort of relationship yourself. So I'd say, what's up with that?
I don't seem interested. I guess I'm playing my cards quite closely then. I guess really in my line of work, well, I guess that's not completely true. Relationships don't really form as easily between people and clergy members. Even though we try to encourage others to seek their happiness. I don't know. There's just been a lot on my mind. A lot going on here within Icewind Dale. I just haven't had as much of time to try and seek out companionship, so to speak.
Well, that is fair, and believe me, I do certainly admire your dedication, not only just to your faith, but also to helping the others of Icewind Dale. But you should certainly feel to take some time for yourself as well. It's good for you, believe me.
I'm really good at deception check on something. If anyone is willing to either use perception or whatnot, they can.
Lotus wouldn't feel the need to. She feels you're being honest, is willing to respect
Or
your answer
if your
here.
passive perception is higher than that.
Well, Avalos' is way higher, but I don't think he picks up on those social cues.
Same for Akia.
All right,
I'll roll insight with disadvantage.
Oh yeah, insight would actually work.
8.
All right, good one. Let's go ahead and
I think Gaiman's still too much in his head to really.
All right, let's go and do another round.
Then
Roll
I'd
it.
probably say the only person that would see something is just for a half glance. Alicia looks in the direction of Danica, and then back to the top of the conversation.
As you all are rolling, Dale says, I know that I'm not playing the game right, but would you let me just jump in and ask someone a question?
Well, with what you rolled, I think you're going to be the one getting asked the question.
Well, I guess that's fair. Well, lay it on me. Who's asking me?
Well, it looks like Kia won this round.
All right.
I was gonna ask Lotus something. Okay.
Or I guess you could have your pick of the litter.
Yeah,
Either
it's like
Lotus
Lotus
or
will say,
Dale.
like, I'll tell you what, Akia, since Dale and I rolled, I'll give you the option. You can either ask Dale or you can ask me.
I would like to ask you if I can borrow your mask. What is up with that?
Well, very well. She trusts you, and she knows you and everyone else has seen her without it, so she'll lean her head down, pull off the mask, and she'll very gingerly set it down on the table and slide it over towards you. Here you go. Just be very careful with it. There's a lot of at least I assume there's a lot of delicate parts in there.
Oop, wrong thing. So you see the little, the eye that the pearls were installed behind. You're gonna get that little horizontal bar scanning up and down the mask as identify is cast upon it. It is a slow process, like 3D printing.
Oh, you're ritually casting this?
I'm not using the spell slot.
Figure.
So, Akia's going to be indisposed for 10 minutes. Gaiman, Dale looks to you and says, well, while we're waiting on him to finish his part of the game, you have horns. What the fuck is up with that?
What the fuck is up with you? Who gives a shit?
Well, you didn't have them yesterday.
And now I have them now. What's the big deal?
Well, it's... someone help me out here, but, well, you just don't grow horns overnight, right? That's not just a thing that happens.
Yeah, but I did.
Considering current circumstances, apparently it does.
See? He agrees with me.
Maybe he's evolving.
I mean, I'm not the one who's the nature expert, but as far as I'm aware, evolution isn't something that takes place over like thousands of years through several generations of like breeding and that kind of thing. I don't think it's something that really happens overnight.
Well, perhaps...
No one is breeding me to get no
Horns.
evolution or some shit.
I mean, I can change into a bear instantly.
He's got you there, Lotus.
Yeah, don't talk science with Avalis.
Right,
It's
right.
right over his head.
All right, well, I guess if that's the case, we've had a fair bit of time. Let's do one last round of rolling then.
You see that Dale has not chosen to roll. He's just looking at his friend, concerned.
All right, and I assume that's good, like, because Kia's busy working over the mask. I'm like, all right, so it looks like Avalis, looks like last up is you'll get to ask something to Gaiman.
Sure. You seem angry often. What is up with that?
Life keeps pissing me off. It's like I don't know, my normal state of being, whatever you call it. And Gaiman just kind of gets like a 1,000-yard stare, like he's remembering something.
Sensing a little bit of tension in the room, Lotus will reach over and grab the dice and say, like, this has been good for I think we're good with this for now. And she'll just like pick up the dice from the table. But if y'all ever want to play that again sometime, just let me know. I think this was good.
Was there a winner?
We all sort of won in a way because we all learned a bit more about each other today, I think.
Did we have fun?
I had fun.
Well, hopefully I'm going to get some enjoyment when I find out some more about what's up with the mask I've been wearing. I've been wearing this thing for the better part of 3 months now, and I still don't understand everything about how it works.
Excellent. So if you guys are okay, we can say that the 10 minutes has passed, and then Akia, you get some information about this mask.
Okay.
You get the word in your head. It's a strange word. And we'll put it into chat here. You get the word flavy into your head. And you believe that it's an activation word.
Lotus. I'm getting the word flavy. Have you heard this word before?
Still. She thinks about it for a moment, and I guess the question would be, in character, have I heard this phrase before?
You believe you may have heard that word aboard the ship. The Illithids speak a horrible language to one another, and you think you may have heard that word spoken between the Illithids.
I think I may remember the Illithids mentioning it to each other in that strange language that they speak. But, as much as I want to try it, I don't think it's a good idea to do it in here, as should this activate something that might be destructive. You know, the speaker's been good to us that I wouldn't want to wreck their home.
Akia, you get the feeling that this object is more magical than first thought. All you have to do is speak the command word.
Well, since Lotus is saying what she is saying, I guess I'll ask. Do you mind if I take it outside?
Well, yes, that would be a good idea. We could take it just to the outside of town. That way we make sure we're in a place where at least the damage it might cause would be minimal. And then she'll nod and follow you outside.
Okay, I'll take it to the edge of town, and I'll try activating anything that activates using the word flavy.
Well, just asking, are we going on our way in a direction of like to our next task, or is this just?
No, I'm just stepping out. I'm just stepping out like over here.
Oh, okay.
Question for the party: is everyone going with to find out what happens?
Yeah, in case it ends up being something dangerous and people need to get healed.
I'm hoping it summons Flavor Flav's final form.
You silly monkeys, you should have never summoned Flavor Flav. I have a power level of 1 million.
I don't know why Flavor Flav and Frieza are now combined in my head. Oh, I've got another mid-journey thing to do. Okay, so you guys travel outside of town, and in me thinking of that silliness, did everyone go?
You're asking if we split the party? No, we do not split the party.
Okay, cool. I just want to confirm that you guys weren't splitting the party. All right. So, Akia, you look down into the mask. Now, Akia, do you say the command word, or do you give it back to Lotus to say the command word?
It is Lotus's, so I'm kind of taking cues from her. Just how is Lotus acting at this time? Is she
Lotus, Lotus is eager to. She definitely wants to know more about this thing, but as she walks out with you, she'll hold out her hand and say, like, "Well, I appreciate you doing this, Akia. I'm the one that's been wearing this. I feel if I should be the one to absorb any risk involved with this thing.
Okay.
So she'll take it, and then she'll put it back on her face, and of course, her body will return to the way it looked before. And as she does, she'll just look forward, take a deep breath, and then she'll say, "Flavy." Just wait to see what happens.
Okay, as you say that, something strange happens. The lenses of the mask light up with a strange glow. A interesting interaction of colors and shapes begin to fly in front of your eyes as you look at your party standing in front of you. And you hear a voice. Flavy has been activated. How can I help you, Lotus?
And she just suddenly looks around. It's like, who's there? Who said that?
It is I, Flavy. The artificial intelligence programmed into this mask.
Wait. Okay. She takes a few deep breaths to calm herself, and she quickly motions Akia over. And she says, "Akia, apparently the phrase, it activated something in the mask. There's and she stops herself as if she's trying to find a way to explain this to you, and she's like, there's a presence here, a sentient intelligence here."
Oh. That's...
A presence? Like your mask is haunted.
Something like that. She says, but... Alright, I think it's like... Flavy, am I the only one that can hear you?
Here, I can increase the volume of my voice to move out through the speakers of the mask. Hello, everyone. I am Flavy, artificial intelligence. And everyone, you can hear the mask talking, as if someone turned on the speaker for a speakerphone call.
How fascinating.
Hello, Flavy. It is difficult to hear you.
Here, let me turn up the volume even further. Lotus, I detect a magical signature coming from Akia 13, Alicia Alpin, from Avalas, and from Gaiman the Glaive.
Wait, do you know their names? Is that coming from? And she just sort of like taps the side of her head. Is that coming from me? Did you know their names because of me?
I have been on your face while you were talking to them, and overheard you say their names.
So you've seen and heard everything I've done since I've had you.
Watto's face gets red.
Yes, and so does hers.
There are some things I go into sleep mode for there are some things I don't believe will help my advancement as an artificial intelligence. That was one activity that I turned off my circuitry for.
She just lets out a sigh of relief at that.
Oh, everyone for participating in that game where we learned a lot about everyone. So that is all of the player characters. Please take a DM inspiration.
Yay.
I sense the magical signature coming from Akia 13's bag. It is in the shape of a small figurine.
Yes, I have a.
Max starting.
I am now Max.
I have a piece of ice that never melts, and I'll bring it out of my bag. It is in the shape of a bear.
Magical signature detected from the bear. Also, magical signature detected from a scarf on Alicia Nelpin.
Yes, I got this from a trader when I was coming my way up to Icewind Dale. It looked pretty, so I got it. Didn't realize it was actually magical as well.
I lack the ability to identify magical items. Unable to detect anything deeper. But as the AI heads-up display is activated, Lotus, you feel the lenses of the mask change, and much like the Predator scoping through its vision, you can now see the slight magical signature coming from Alicia's scarf, from Akia's wondrous figurine, and I believe, Gaiman, did you trade your owl carving?
No,
I was just looking at your sheet. I was like, where is it?
it's down at the bottom under loot trinket. Owl figurine carved from a whalebone.
Oh, I see. I see. It was because it was listed as a trinket. You see it, the owl figurine on Gaiman's is also giving off that slight bit of magical interference. And then as you look at Aviles,
The only magic thing I have is a cookie. He has no magic items or trinkets.
Well, I guess Alicia's new boots would also be registering as magic.
that is true.
And seeing all this, it's like things start to click for Lotus and just be like, oh, okay, this makes sense then. And then she says this to the rest of you. See, this makes sense why the Illithids gave this to me. They must have expected me to work for them, most likely to steal magical artifacts for them.
Well, that is quite interesting. I spent quite some time in libraries and in institutions studying. I've mostly heard rumors of there being magical artifacts, some that even have sentience to them, but never really heard too much deeper than that. This is the first time I've actually seen something in person.
Let me see what else I can... Oh, maybe I can ask directly. Flavy, tell me what capabilities do you have?
Currently, I can see slight magical auras. I can analyze data that you give to me and try to formulate responses and answers. But as a new AI, I have limited knowledge. Also, go ahead.
How does it talk without a mouth? What's up with that?
I don't think we're playing the game anymore.
Akia looks at Aviles like, am I a joke to you?
And as a kid, he returns to look and goes, huh. Just like does that awkward, like, no personal boundaries, and like puts his palm on like Akia's face where like a mouth would be.
Start trying to feel inside of his mouth. Or
like trying to
hole.
feel, yeah. Like,
So
It makes...
It's not there. There's not one, Aviles. You can stop. There's not one, Aviles.
oh, so, okay. Is it somewhere else? He like lifts up the bare shoulder and
ignoring this conversation now. Elise is gonna kind of turn to the mask and be like, so you said as a new AI, so in a sense like a newborn, like going through life and learning things?
Yes, that is a great way to explain it. I was programmed by, well, my predecessors, who owned the mask before. And they have taught me to always be on the lookout to learn new things.
Your predecessors, you mean the Illithids, right?
Yes,
Are you communicating with them right now? Then there's a little bit of a sense of dread in her voice.
Directive unknown. Cannot respond.
All right.
I'm getting mother flashbacks from Alien.
Yeah. All right. Well, Flavy, is in this case, I would like to set some ground rules for your operation.
I will try to abide by those as much as I can, but my operating systems have already been programmed.
Very well.
That's actually a good question. To whom do you answer to for these operations? The wearer or to the Unattended who programmed you?
Operation directive. Hard to say. I have been programmed to respond to most answers and questions. However, there are some operations that I cannot access. That seems to be one of them.
Well, that would make sense, even with what they had designed me for. They wouldn't want me to have complete control over this thing, so that does make sense. But Flavy, I would say the first rule would be that you will only speak out to others if I direct you to.
That is acceptable. I will not interject myself.
Otherwise, if you have a way of doing so, if there's any concerns or questions you have for me, do you have a way that you could communicate those to me without alerting anyone else?
And you feel a stinging in your mind, Lotus, and it says, I do have a way to communicate with you.
Oh shit.
And then she starts thinking, it's like, thinking back to it, she says, okay, that's fine. Just make sure you don't do that while I'm sleeping, okay?
Do you want me to answer that in your head only? Or should I answer that out loud?
In my head right now is fine.
Okay. Everyone, you don't seem to be able to hear the voice of Flavy any longer.
But we just see Lotus just silent with a goofy look on their face.
Yeah.
So talking internally.
Well, it's like, you just see, she's like, she probably doesn't have to, but you just see her doing this thing where she's just got like a couple fingers on like the side of her head. And it's like in Cyberpunk 2077, you just see like this weird ethereal glow in her eyes.
Yeah.
Akia's just scooting up to Alicia slowly, like sidestepping. Alicia, I was not aware that you were unaware that your scarf was magical. Would you like me to identify it for you?
Sure. I mean, the only thing that I've noticed of it is that it slightly changes colors whenever I'm walking up, like, hills and stuff like that. But I don't know if there's anything else that's different from it.
Well,
And
that can be determined.
They'll hand over their scarf.
All right. You will see the barcode scanner start going.
As the barcode scanner is going, your friend Red the Bush puts its hand on Avalas and says, Avalas, I didn't hear. Do you have anything magical?
No. Well, wait. I have a cookie. And he pulls out one of Nim's magical cookies. Or Nimsy's, because that's all I got.
Do you think it would taste good if we put one of my berries on top of the cookies?
Sure.
maybe if you had 2 cookies, you could sandwich a bunch of berries in between.
A cookie sandwich. Interesting.
Oh,
But having had one of your berries, eating a whole bunch would likely rupture my stomach.
mm.
And
Well,
I would not be able to enjoy the sandwich.
Well, I guess then we should leave my berries out of this. And you see Barry ponder how he can use his berries to better help the party.
Do not worry, Red. We all appreciate your twig and berries.
Oh, gosh. Love it, love it. So, as this 10 minutes is going on, were there any of the other members of the party that wish to have any interaction as the weave, the scarf is being figured out?
Avalos will just tell the speaker, since he's still in her home, that he's going to be leaving again shortly and will likely be gone a long while.
Well, I guess that's all right. But if we call on you, please come. As you know, Dugan's Hole doesn't have any heroes. And if anything bad were to happen to us again, well, we might just get knocked off the map.
Of course. And be sure to tell the young ones not to trust any talking wolves. Unless it's me, of course, but I generally don't talk as a wolf.
She writes this down. You see her scribbling.
Tell the kiddos not to talk to wolves. Got it.
Okay. As the 10 minutes comes to an end, we hear a ding and a Kia. You get another word in your mind. You hear the word glamour, as if it's an activation word.
I will hand it back to Alicia. And I'll tell Alicia that it has an activated ability. You must simply say glamour to activate the ability of this scarf.
At least we'll look down at the scarf and say glamour.
As you do so, Alicia, what would be the pattern or imagery that would be in your head in this moment, if you had one?
Pattern.
Mm-hmm. Pattern, imagery, symbolism, anything that would just be running through your head at the moment.
Suddenly an image of a scarf appears on the scarf.
Scarfception. Oh god. Shit, what's that? I'm totally caught off guard. Let's say this one now. I'm literally Googling shit right now.
I didn't think it was that crazy, but maybe it was kind of a crazy question.
Oh, okay. I guess this could work. Something approximate of like Louis Vuitton, but the symbols are pretty much of like little suns and like sun rays.
I got you. Louis Vuitton mixed with some Lathander iconography. I gotcha.
Yeah.
So, as you think of this and you say the word glamour, you all see the illusion of like floating Louis Vuitton print stylized with sun rays and sunbeams float about 1 inch up the scarf and tile along it in a moving pattern.
There's the most girlish squeal that comes from Alicia that you guys have probably ever heard, as they are just beaming with excitement looking at this. Oh my gosh.
Lotus will hear you say it, will hear that, and then suddenly she'll look over and she'll see the scarf and she'll be like, that's amazing. And then, not even like asking you first, she'll take it up in her hand and she's like, how in blazes did you get Burberry here? This is amazing.
Wait, what's Burberry?
Oh, it's a well-known fashion designer brand back on my world.
Ah, interesting. I'm not very in tune with fashion, but I think I saw this or a similar pattern on like a noble back in Baldur's Gate when I was walking by some people. And at least we'll think of another pattern and we'll say glamour. I can't think of what the next one will be like, but yeah.
If you'll allow some creativity here, as you think of this next pattern, everyone in attendance sees the scene of Chewingas enjoying a tea party, dancing along the cups, tiling along the scarf, moving up and down the fabric.
There are anime heart eyes in Alicia's face right now. I did not think this could do this. This is the greatest day ever.
You also believe, now that you know of its magical properties from IKEA, when you make a charisma persuasion or charisma performance check while wearing the glamour weave scarf, you can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the check. Once you use this property, it can't be used again until the next dawn. And I will give you this item in just a moment.
Oh, shit.
IKEA will be making their way over to Gaiman.
Yeah, Alicia's gonna be occupied with this for a while.
Gaiman,
Or
what was its name? Sorry.
He's talking about me, Flavy. I can feel him. Wait, I'm not supposed to interject. Sorry, Lotus.
Flavy mentioned that you had a magic item on you that you seem to be unaware of. Would you like me to identify it for you?
what magic item?
I assume that IKEA would be aware of it, just unaware that Gaiman was unaware of it.
Yes, Alicia, and you would get the feeling, IKEA, using potentially detect magic or from Flavy's context clues, that is indeed Gaiman's owl figurine.
Gaiman, your owl figurine.
Oh, I see the description now.
It does contain magical properties.
magical properties. So, like, it does a trick.
I can't be sure until I identify it.
Alright, so what's the thing that is, like, supposed to be able to, like, do tricks?
I'm unsure what you're asking.
Well, look, I got a bunch of shit in this rucksack, and like, what are you saying is magical?
The figurine.
What's a figurine?
The tiny sculpture.
Oh, okay. And Gaiman will fish out the owl figurine. He's just thought of it as the little bone owl. He doesn't know that word. So he will hand it over.
Kia will hold the figurine in their palm and start identifying.
As you're identifying the item, Danica Greysteel will approach the party and say, well, this is quite interesting. It's like we had magic right under our noses that we didn't know about. I wonder if there's anything else that has been happening under our noses that we should all know about, if anyone has any secrets that should potentially be shared.
I mean, it won't be the last time we play Warring Lord, forgive my language. What the fuck is up with that? So we can reserve those for another time.
Okay. I just wanted to give anyone, an open floor of no judgment, kind of carte blanche to reveal any secrets or to ask for help, just in case. She appears to not be very good at whatever she's trying to do, everyone.
Alicia's just going to walk up to Danica and be like, we can probably have the conversation with him when he starts feeling more comfortable. I think he may just have a little bit of shock for right now.
Oh, well, you're probably right. I just thought it might be a safe space at the moment.
I don't know if any space is safe with gaming, but we can try.
Of course.
But I don't have anything for today. Does anyone else? I know the day is starting to grow long. Maybe we should start looking into, I guess, making our way towards those ice toads. Once we're finished identifying everything.
Can I ask a serious question here? Are we ever going after those ingots? I mean, I know it's not like kids being like stolen or like toads or some shit, but like those dwarves are getting fidgety, I guarantee it. And if we go back to Redshanda without that, they are going to be royally pissed.
I agree with you. I think the overall direction is going for the ingots, but these ice toads are supposedly along the way. So if we encounter any, the more the merrier. But I think our overall trajectory is the ingots. Does that sound okay with everyone else, or?
Yes, that was my impression. That was our plan.
You hear a hear hear from all of your NPCs as they are willing and able to do that plan.
I would say though, before we go, Lotus would make sure to reassure Watto that, like, look, Flavy says that they're they were turned off during our private time, so you don't need to worry. I'll be sure to make sure it's in us sleep mode next time.
Oh, we might want to put a blanket over it, just in case. I don't want it to be peeking on us.
Ah, yes, good idea.
And at that moment, Akia, you finish your scan of Gaiman's owl figurine.
All right. I hand Gaiman back the figurine.
Akia, you have the knowledge that if Gaiman were to hold the figurine aloft and throw it out in front of him with a feeling of joy in his heart, a magical thing would happen.
Gaiman. If you this figurine and throw it out in front of you with a feeling of joy in your heart, something will happen, although I'm not sure what.
Gaiman is going to give you a confused look and just put it back in his bag and shake his head and just sort of grumble, whatever.
It is intriguing. If you ever do decide to try it, to see what happens, I would like to watch.
Yeah, well, I ain't had much cause to be joyful of late, so what the fuck ever.
And Gaiman, I have put the actual item, what it actually is, upon your sheet.
Okie dokie.
You can keep that to yourself or share with the others. Whatever you would like to do.
I guess I'll go up lastly to Avalos and be like, there seems to be a little bit of confusion there. Flavy seems to detect some sort of magic on you that you are unaware of.
You are more than welcome to look through my things. And, he has a dagger, quarterstaff, a spear, a backpack, bedroll. He does have his druidic focus, the leather necklace you gave him, and then the bone scrimshaw owl. But that's pretty much it.
Flavy, which item did you see on Avalos?
Lotus, can I answer him?
And she doesn't even think it. She just sort of groans in frustration and just says out loud, "Yes, you can answer him."
Akia, I did detect magical traces on some of the scrimshaw that Avalos has.
Avalos pulls out the owl. It's just a thing I traded for in... Were we in Brinshan? I forget where we were at. Lonelywood, maybe? I think it was Lonelywood.
I think it was Lonelywood. May I? And Akia will hold out their palm.
Of course.
All right, now
Gives you a, I'm just kidding. He hands the owl over.
All right, the barcode scanner comes out from Akia's right eye. Start scanning.
Interesting. As that is scanning, Edgra, the speaker, would say, "Now, when I wore that poor necklace, I didn't have anything come out of my eye like that. Are you sure that you want to keep those pearls? Now that I see them in action, maybe I should have kept them. I'm just kidding, she says, as she elbows Akia. You could keep them.
Akia is shaken a little bit, like didn't realize they were being talked to. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it greatly.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's just so good to see that it's going to good use here. So, it sounds like 10 minutes pass. 51, 52. And you get some information.
Went back down.
Akia, as you're scanning it, you notice that Avalos may have missed something. It appears that there's actually tiny finger holes on this owl, and actually a spot that you could blow on. This appears that it's actually an ocarina.
Of time.
No, that's a different musical instrument that you need to make a stew later in the game. Get it? Ocarina of Time? Okay.
Wow.
I heard it's the herb that heals all wounds. So as you're pointing out these small finger holes and mouth holes on the item, it appears that this thing has magical abilities within it. Akia, do you give it back to Avalos to pipe a tune?
Yes, I return it to Avalos.
Yeah, I am not a bard. Avalos takes it and goes, I don't know how to play it.
I don't know if you need to actually carry a tune, though I guess that would be better if you did.
He basically just holds it, like, doesn't put his fingers in any of the holes and just does a huge exhale into the owl.
As you put as much power into it as you possibly can, it lets out a hoot, hoot, hoot. And as you look around, you notice something interesting. And it's going to come in really small, so I have to scale it up here. An owl that was nearby flying by lands on the ground near you.
Oh. And he will cast... Sure, this isn't gonna bite me in the butt later. He'll cast Speak with Animals.
So everyone, yes, you saw an owl just land in the snow next to Avalos, and it's just looking at you guys at the moment.
He'll say an owl. Hello.
Hello. Who are you?
Yeah, get it. I am Avalis. Who are you?
Well, you can call me Archimedes. I was just flying by when I heard your call. It sounded like you needed help.
Oh, I need. Kind of holds out the scrimshaw ocarina. I've never used this before. I guess this is what did that.
Oh, it was beautiful. Well, do you need my help or anything? I'm here.
We're gonna go see the ice toads. Do you know where they are?
Oh, terrible creatures the ice toads are. Are you sure you want to go see them? They're covered in mucus.
Yes, is Knobberknocker around?
Yes, he's looking on in awe as you guys have been bogarting these magic items.
Avalis will point to the gnome and say, the one covered in soot there wants mucus for something.
Oh, I could see it being useful. It looks quite sticky. But, well, I'm here to help. Your tune has made me feel empowered.
Perhaps you could fly overhead and show us the way.
Ooh, sounds good. Well, I guess I will fly overhead and make sure that you're going the right way.
Thank you, Archimedes. And he'll explain all of that to his companions, switching back to common instead of going hoot hoot squeakity squeak squeakum hoot hoot.
You're squeaking?
Yeah.
See, it's like when you do that. I mean, it's like, have you ever seen the show The Wild Thornberrys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm imagining it's like when Eliza Thornberry's talking with animals. That's what I'm imagining.
This owl will show us the way to the ice toads.
Let's not forget our sleds this time.
Your companions will look to you and say, do you think that's a good idea? How should we, parse out the dogs and everything? I don't want the dogs to get eaten by toads.
Well, if we find any tracks, or I guess indications that we're getting close to these toads, we can probably keep them a ways off. So that they're not too close.
Yeah, I'll give those instructions really loudly into the air to Archimedes.
Thank you, I have good ears, I can hear you.
I'll also give Avalos the small box with the on-off switch, and when he turns it on, it makes ice toad croaking sounds.
Interesting.
It might... I don't know what it says.
All right. Well, we have a means to get there now.
I would say though, as we're getting the dogs ready, Lotus has she's named all of them except for the one, which she said she saved for you, and she'll start going down the line. I'll just do them all real quick. Dusty, Phoenix, Nyla, Andrade, Callisto, Angelico, Kenny, Moxley, Zaya, Soraya, Shad, Ruby, Phantasmo, Roosh, Rekka, Jotzi, and then she'll go to the one at the head. And this one's my favorite, Danhausen.
Wada would ask, where did all of these wonderful names come from?
Well, you see, where I'm from, they're all names of mighty warriors who I see who are fight each other on a regular basis.
Those are the names of gladiators?
Yes, they are.
So are all of them like elite or?
Some of them are, some of them aren't, but they're all special in their own way.
So we have what? Enough dogs for 3 sleds? If I remember correctly.
That is correct.
And how many people can each sled hold?
I'm glad you asked. So your sleds can hold a few people on them, but you can't get everyone on your B team into one sled, so you will need all of your sleds to get everybody moving and grooving. And each sled can have 6 dogs attached to it, which is quite a lot of dogs. I mean, it's not like anyone in this call has 6 dogs.
I can hear the pain behind your laugh.
Oh my gosh.
I expect you to have a sled together next time.
Oh my gosh. Here, let me just move these guys around.
But would it make sense for like each sled to be able to hold like 4 people?
Yes, that is more than doable here.
Okay.
I'll give commands to all the sled dogs since I still have speak with animals up, and just, kind of tell them where we're going, to stay away from toads, that kind of stuff, stay in line, yada, yada, yada.
Do you check the box to make sure it works?
Oh, yeah, I'll open up the box.
I was hoping it was just going to be blind faith.
Oh, speaking of, since I now have speak with animals, do I understand what that box actually says?
Of course, it's like, I'm horny. I'm full of hormones.
This, will probably be successful in attracting, maybe the wrong sort of toad, but, and he kind of doesn't blush, because that's not really Avalus, but, he just says, it's interesting you chose this phrase.
It's a croak. I don't know what you mean. Oh, that's cool.
Aren't we lot going too fast for toads?
The dogs are following the owl, Archimedes, overhead.
Right, but like, if we're supposed to capture a toad, we're what, just gonna run it over?
We will stop beforehand so the dogs are not in danger.
Alright.
And I should mention, Archimedes, slight edit here to his appearance, was not just an owl. He was a giant owl.
Oh, shit.
I mean, that changes a lot.
Yeah, can Avalus ride on him?
I mean, if you want to ride on the big ass owl, I don't see why not.
Nah. I probably have to lead Zenith, because I imagine I have the best animal handling.
Sorry, I was just a little bit sad about something. Here we go, guys. Giant owl. Hold on, we gotta make this thing just a little bit bigger. There we go. Hell yeah. We'll say it's 25 feet up. And it's leading you guys to the freaking toad lair.
If it takes a while, I will ritual cast Identify on my trinket, just by myself in the sled.
Excellent. And if you guys feel like changing who is in which sled, you can.
should we kind of spread out a little bit?
Well, I imagine that Gaiman's going to want to avoid the sled that has red in it.
Fair.
I'm not riding that bloody sled with an evil fucking bush.
Look, Gaiman, you keep saying that red's
He's evil!
Alright, and she'll hold up her hands and just say, like, alright, let's just talk this out for a second, okay? Like, red's been with us for how long now?
He's lying in wait.
It might be best if we travel in one sled. That way, if we need to break up into a combat team and a non-combat team, it would be very easy.
I don't see, 6 dogs pull at once, one sled with a lot of us on it. Just saying.
Alright.
And Avalos, you now have your Ocarina of the Night Sky on your character sheet.
Alright. Well, hearing that, Lotus gets a bit of an idea, and she says, Flavy, from the time you've noticed, by your analysis, do you think that Red, the awakened bush, is evil?
As an AI, I have difficulty understanding the motives of good and evil. However, using the definitions listed here by my Illithid programmers, I can determine that Red, the berry bush, does not fit those definitions. He does fit the definition of a bush.
Well, I don't know if that's worth anything to you, Gaiman, but there you
not
go.
a goddamn thing, because that mask of yours didn't talk before, now all of a sudden it does, and it was made by the goddamn elephants. And they abducted you. So
Yes.
that mask itself, I think, is probably evil too.
Well, it is, but to be honest, I'm...
What? It's evil!
Oh.
And he's gonna jump off the sled.
and then she just... and then she just immediately facepalms and be like, why did I say that?
Now, interesting thing here, just for our information. The dogs do move faster in the snow than people do, but not so much more fast that Gaiman couldn't sprint and then jump into another sled if he wished. But continue, Alicia.
All right, fine. I will do an end run around, and we're going to. Gaiman is going to grab Master Watto and pick him up, and then take him over to the sled he just abandoned, deposit him, and run back and say, "Yeah, you stay with your girlfriend and her fucking evil mask." He's gonna run back.
I love this. Watto, picked up over your head, goes, and well, hello everyone.
Oh, I guess now that Gaiman's said it, I guess this means you're officially my boyfriend now?
I mean, I know that we didn't say anything about it, and we didn't put a label on it, but I had considered myself off the market.
Oh my, aren't you moving fast? There's a little bit of a slight grin on Alicia's face.
Well, with things being what they are around here, you never know what the next day might be your last, right? It's best to live life without regrets.
That is true. The Morning Lord tells us that we should live our lives to the fullest.
It is also best to avoid ambiguity.
I would say, go ahead.
You.
Though I would say, Watto, since I didn't get to ask you before, there's something else I was kind of curious about.
Oh?
You seem to, live on your own without any family here. What's up with that?
Oh, are we playing a game again?
Well, everyone, if I don't want to monopolize the conversation, but I'm willing to share if you all are willing to listen.
Well, I guess we may have some time as we're riding along here.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I have a seedy past. I've done things I'm not proud of, and to tell you the truth, it's a blessing that I've met you all, and I'm in a place where I am today.
Lotus will gently take his hand and say, whatever it is, just know that I will love you no matter what, and whenever you feel comfortable sharing that with me, and I leave that up to you, I will be more than happy to listen.
Well, no better time than the present, as Akia said, no use for ambiguity. I was in a cult to Gratz in Neverwinter. I was young and impressionable, and we did a lot of things that, well, I'm ashamed of. And I have to say I was on the wrong end of a noose, looking up at the hangman's, final goodbye. But I was able to escape the hangman, and I made my way north.
And I take it with this cult is where you picked up your master title?
Yes. As I'm sure some of you are aware, Gratz is the demon prince of hedonistic and carnal things.
No look of recognition washes over Alice. He's just, okay.
Recognition washes over Lisa's face.
She would say, well, that does explain why it seems like you did have a fair few of their works in the library in Bryn Shander before, well, you know what happened.
Yes. The Church of Auril. Seems that their activities are very close to, well, the activities that I was a part of in Neverwinter. In Gratz's embrace.
And just to confirm, you're no longer with this cult, correct?
Yes, when I saw the error of my ways at the end of the rope, as we began to, commit more and more crimes, trying to, please the master of pain and pleasure, I knew that I had wronged, and I was going to continue to wrong unless I changed my ways.
Hearing him stammer a bit, Lotus will just quickly embrace him in an affectionate hug.
Alicia would like to insight check that statement.
Please do.
Plot twist. Big bad evil guy.
You don't detect any sense of deception from Watto. He says, yes.
But is there more like remorse?
You do detect remorse for his actions, for what he has done. seems that he committed crimes that would be hard for him to admit.
Yep. Still hugging him tight, Lotus says, like, I've known many people back home who would be considered criminals, some, but there's always room for forgiveness, and as far as I'm concerned, Watto, you've never done wrong by me. In fact, if I may be honest, in a way, coming upon you and Bryn Shander in that library probably could have saved me from a terrible fate.
Well, I could say similar things about you, and how you have helped me since you have came to Icewind Dale. And I hope that soon we can forget the troubles that we've had in our past and just look forward to the hope in our future.
And as she leans back from the hug, she just lighten the mood a little bit, and she doesn't use disguise self, but she'll just sort of put on like the voice of her mother that she did earlier, and she's like, I could only just imagine, though, if my mom would think of me dating a tabaxi, and then she just sort of like hunches over and just starts wagging her finger. It's like, I can't believe you're dating a tabaxi, young lady. I hear they give you hairballs.
That's it. And he laughs. As he laughs, Akia, your scan finishes. So you guys hear a ding, ding, as Akia's scan finishes scanning his bear. Akia, you know that this is a figurine of wondrous power, the Icicle Bear. This icy figurine of a polar bear can become a polar bear for up to 6 hours. Once it has been used, it can't be used again until 2 days have passed. While in polar bear form, the figurine grants the polar bear resistance to cold damage and allows you to cast the Sleet Storm spell once, centered on the bear, without requiring any components. This ability can only be used once per transformation.
Nice.
I have added that to your character sheet.
So the Sleet Storm will hurt the bear, though.
Sleet Storm does not do damage.
Ah, I see. I am unfamiliar with the spell, but I will be next time.
Yes. So, heroes, as this dog sled ride is slowly coming to an end, you see the entrance to a cavern on the banks of the Red Waters ahead of you.
Does Archimedes circle?
He's starting to circle like, caw, caw, this is where we need to go. Hoot, hoot, squeak.
Right.
He makes all of the bird noises.
I call out whatever command words we've set up with Zenith to the lead sled dog of my team to kind of slow, and hopefully the others take that hint.
Absolutely. The sled dogs start to skid to a halt. And by my clock, everyone, it is about 8 p.m., so it's dark as fuck outside. And there's lots of snow.
I believe the ice toads must be in that cavern.
Very well. Since you're the one who can communicate, Avalis, did you want to take point?
Sure. Yes. Would it be best to lure one out with the box, or? And you don't see fear, but you just see doubt of maybe going inside the lair is a good idea.
Yes, that probably would be good with the darkness and not being sure of the layout of the place. Wouldn't want to risk getting lost or ambushed by them.
Right. So Avos will try to stop all the sled dog teams about 60 feet away from the cavern, and he'll tell Dale, since he's such a great naturalist, to the toads. If any toads emerge and look like they're going for the sled teams, just to turn their sleds around and go.
Absolutely. So, as you are pulling it up, well, what is your operations here, guys? Do you start unleashing the sound effects of the toad box?
I've given the toad box to Avalos, and we'll let Avalos use their discretion for that one.
Yeah, I'll kind of motion for people to kind of stay a little bit back, and I'll am I sneaky? I feel like I'm sneaky. I am sneaky. I will attempt to sneak up there near
Did
the
I
mouth of the
delete
cavern.
myself?
You are deleted. Yeah. You're gone.
Damn it.
And when I get up there, I will open up the box so it kind of croaks inside the entrance to the cavern.
Sure, and for full immersion, everyone, because you guys have stopped.
Set parking brake.
Record scratch.
You stop. However, the bird is still circling, so I have to make the bird dance. So let me make the bird dance.
Akia, what's the light situation with your trinkets? Is it 5 and 5, or is it like 10 and 5?
I believe if you program it as 10 and 5, it works. It's 5 and 5, but I think you have to program it as 10 and 5 for it to work properly.
Mm-hmm. That is correct. Okay, so you start letting off these toad noises, and they fill the night sky.
Gonna get some
As
horny toads.
As you are making these toad noises, could you just give me an animal handling check just to see your proficiency with using these type of devices?
Oof.
Okay.
With advantage?
I didn't hear a DM inspiration being called, but that's okay. So
Remember,
now
you still have your faxpiration if you want it.
Yeah, I'll sure, why not?
let's see here. You're at an 8, and
Is it a D6?
It's a D6.
Oh,
That is a
I'm at
9.
9.
okay. So here's what happens. As you are going to play it, you hit the button maybe just a little bit too strongly, and there is an echoing reverb of these sounds of these toads. And it can be heard across the tundra.
I will close the box, step back, and get ready to. When I see one approach, I will cast. If it's just one, I will cast Animal Friendship. If it's a bunch, I'll cast Speak with Animals.
I gotcha. There's just gonna be a quick reload, everyone. I just need to reload something. Don't worry, it's nothing crazy. As it's reloading, Watto would have told you that his cult's name were the Agents of the Argent Palace. I don't know if you guys wanted that info or not, but you have it.
Oh, wait. You said Agents of the...
And I can put it in chat.
Yeah.
He would explain to you that the Argent Palace is actually Gratz's personal home in the Abyss, and that they would hope that by committing these acts, that they would be able to receive an invitation to the Argent Palace itself. Okay. As this goes off, you can see a massive toad coming your way. And I'm imagining that, it's kind of a bitch to move all of these sleds, but you guys moved them in such a way that they're kind of like off map in a way, and that your NPC companions, they're all hiding behind banks of snow, making sure that the dogs aren't going crazy. Okay.
All right, so it's just a one toad.
Yeah, so you just see one of these toads approaching you, and it looks like this. And it's just dripping this mucus from its body onto the ground as it hops. Ba-boop, ba-boop, ba-boop.
All right, I will cast Animal Friendship upon it.
Yeah, it's not so big. I can get that big.
Okay, let's see if it is charmed or not.
I like that it's called Butcher.
It is charmed.
Nice.
Somebody call Shannon Doherty. Oh man, now I have an idea for my charmed effect animation. So it is charmed. You see bubbles appear above its eyes as you cast the spell upon it.
All right, I guess I didn't think about this. I guess I have to cast animal or speak with animals. Otherwise, how am I going to talk to it? So
it's starting to hop closer to you. Dorber?
Another. All right. I will say, "Hail, mighty ice toad! Would you be so kind as to spare us some of your mucus?"
It looks to you and says,
I heard the calls of a female of my species crying out for mating. Where did you see where it went?
Truthfully, he will say, "You are the first ice toad we have seen."
I am so sad. I've wanted to mate for a long time, and I heard the call. But you are asking for my mucus.
Yes, and he'll motion for Akia to produce whatever container he wants that mucus in.
Not knowing exactly what Avalus wants yet, if it wants, I thought possibly you could offer it some mayonnaise out of this jug.
I can't produce a female, but would you care for some mayonnaise?
The toad looks to you and says, I don't know what mayonnaise is. Can you describe it to me?
It's a thick, white condiment made of eggs and oil. It's maybe good to put on other things you eat.
That does sound delicious. I would love to eat your mayonnaise. In exchange for how much mucus do I have to give you?
How much mucus do you want for the mayonnaise, Akia?
Let's fill up the vials that we have in our harvesting kit.
He will. A few of these small vials should do.
Oh, that's not very much. I think I could produce that just by flapping my legs.
I guess I'll motion Copper over, since it seems to be amicable situation.
My friend here will collect the mucus from you, and this my other friend here, and I'll motion to Akia, will give you the mayonnaise.
All right.
You see Copper begin to approach from behind one of the snowdrifts.
All right, I'll get out the alchemy jug and command it mayonnaise, and it produces. I think it's like 2 gallons. Let me check. I think it's 2 gallons of mayonnaise.
So there's a load of mayo on the ground for them.
The ice toad butcher looks to it and says, "Oh, it looks delicious." Oh, and it just starts to go to town on that big old pile of mayonnaise.
This will haunt me for a while.
Yeah, it does.
It kind of looks like I can't remember what cartoon it was, but there was a cartoon opening where like the character like crashed into a huge thing of ice cream and then like used its entire tongue to like clean its face off. Kind of looks like that. Cooper Knocker will approach the ice toad, tiptoeing, and start to slowly use a vial to start scraping mucus off of this creature. And Copper will say aloud, "This is pretty good stuff, but it's nowhere near the mucus that we could got from the king. You should ask this thing where the king lives, so we can get the king mucus."
A great ice toad is your king inside, and would he be willing to part with his mucus as well?
Ah, the king's mucus is something special. It's so thick and opaque. It could blind a full-grown dragon. The king only gives out his mucus to those who can best him in combat. I have seen him give it before.
Does it have to be a one-on-one combat?
No, I've seen him fight entire tribes before. One time a tribe of goblins came for his mucus. That was delicious.
Akia and Copper, if you wish to have the mucus of the king, we would have to best him in combat. What is the cost of failure, Great Ice Toad?
We eat you.
If we lose, we die. He just says that just very plainly.
Well, that's not surprising.
That would have to be up to the group.
Yes, the king's mucus. It's so powerful. One time I saw him fight a mage. The mage tried to cast spells of fire upon him, but it was to no avail, as his mucus hardened like a shell.
I mean, OOC, this seems like a bad idea, but I think Orf really wants us to fight this thing.
I mean,
This is just an ice toad eating mayonnaise out here, guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
As they do.
as a toad does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love to hear this recap next week. This is going to be very interesting.
So OOC, let's just quick vibe check of the party. Who actually wants to challenge this Ice Toad King for its mucus? I think Copper was offering like 250 gold if we could get the king's mucus.
Jamin's always down for a fight.
I mean, we have a
Right.
giant owl with
That,
us.
and since I changed out for like transmuted spell, like I can do stuff other than fire pretty easily.
You can lightning bolt.
Yep.
Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt.
Yes. I was gonna say, at the mentioning of fire, Alicia just looks at their hands and like, well, this sucks.
I don't have a lot either because of all my beast spells, so I have some, but it's Moonbeam.
Okay,
That's
is
what I got.
this where we
Is this where we
TPK
die?
versus are y'all
Get eaten.
is this what y'all want to do? Y'all want
I have
to
a
fight
ba-
this?
So
I
is
have a backup
this,
character made.
so this is where we can save, right? And come back to this later.
Your DM looks to you and says,
Fucking saves come to
I'm
this fight.
I'm sorry, but this is not the area that you find the bonfire. That is later.
All right. This will be Avalus's decision point then. He calls down to Archimedes, or calls up to Archimedes, and asks if he will join him in this fight.
Of course. I will fight these ice toads with you. It will
Alright,
be
I'm
my
down.
pleasure.
I think we're only fighting one ice toad there, buddy. Hold on.
Yeah, just the king.
Hold on.
I would say. Oh,
Go ahead.
I would say the thing that Lotus is thinking about is like, well, I'm certainly here. The thing, though, I'm somewhat concerned about is that can we be sure that this Ice Toad King is going to be an honorable fighter? You know, how do we know that even if we win, he's still going to give us what he promises?
The ice toad will say to you, Avlas, I cannot understand your allies or companions, but my king speaks the tongue of humans.
Perfect. Then we would like to treat with your king, if that pleases you, after you are done with your mayonnaise.
It is gonna take me a while. There's so much of this. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, I think maybe it should enjoy it while we go see this king.
Will the king come out to us, or should we go inside the cavern?
If you issue a challenge to the king, he would want to compete against you in the grand hall of our lair.
Archimedes, are you comfortable with that?
Yes, even if I have to fight on the ground. I want to purge Icewind Dale of the scourge of ice toads.
Oh goodness, you've got an owl and they're
Yeah.
it's
Oh, great. I've got a racist owl.
Well, you know what? That may
jihad.
that may not be so bad. If this owl can carry either Alicia or Lotus.
Yeah, Alicia's like,
Yeah.
Alicia doesn't want to be in the fight.
We can just spam shit from afar.
Yeah.
While we're flying.
Although
Yeah.
it probably has range too, but
It probably has like a tongue.
a tongue or something. Yeah.
I mean, hopefully it's
Or
more
spit or something. Yeah.
60 foot range tongue.
Hopefully it's more concerned about the people on the ground than the flying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
It's
hoping this will
Gaiman
be.
jumps in its mouth.
I'm hoping this will be a good case where I can actually get some good use out of Mind Whip.
All right. Let's. He'll say, I guess we have to go inside to challenge in their great hall.
All right, I think we're going. I think we're gonna go challenge the king, the Ice Toad King. This is such a bad idea. We're not gonna do it. Let's go.
Would it surprise you guys for me to say I did not foresee that this is how this was gonna go?
Today's a good day to die.
Yep. Why not?
But what is it like Felix, who runs like the Fool's Gold campaign, had always said like advice for DMs is like your plans as a DM are only going to last as long until your players get a hold of it.
I just love that like the only survivor is going to be Copper, and he's going to have this weird story about frogs and mayonnaise and and how we all got eaten because we wanted mucus.
Absolutely, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I was with these the previous Thanes, and now I'm here with you Thanes, and we're gonna go back and get the Ice Toad Queen's mucus now."
Little do we
Oh my
know
gosh.
that Ice Toad mucus is like the new Hag's crystal.
It just very well may be. Let's see. Let me take you guys to the map. So you walk into the lair of the Ice Toad King. And, oops, I need to give you a giant owl.
Ungenerous. Well, that's unfortunate.
Standing in front of you is a massive toad, even bigger than the ones that you have seen thus far. You see upon his head an adorned crown made of metal and jewels. The ice toad steeples his fingers together
and says, who do I have here in my lair? In common.
Great Ice Toad King, we have come to challenge you in combat for your mucus.
You have come for my mucus. So, you must have communicated with one of my subjects.
Yes, didn't get his name, but he was very helpful.
Indeed, indeed. Well, I am willing to compete for my mucus. Are you all willing to compete for your lives?
I look to everybody and try to get a confirmation nod that they are all willing.
Lotus looks at the king and says, so long as you are good for your word, of course.
My word is my bond. I will give you 1 gallon of king mucus.
And what is Knobberknocker's reaction to that?
You guys can see that his heart is exploding out of his chest. He is doing a Grinch smile. He is erect. No, I'm not. He's not erect. He's just very happy that you said that he will get that much mucus, as he did not know that he could get that much. The king says,
If we are to fight, are we fighting 1-on-1, or is your entire group to fight me?
We have heard of your immeasurable strength and think it would be only fair for you if we fought as a team against you.
Well, to make sure that this is a challenge for the ages, you shall fight me and 3 of my subjects. It will be balanced combat so far.
Avalus says, surely one such as you, with such prowess and might, would... he is not a highly charismatic person, so up to you if this, he's even deserving of a role. But surely someone such might as you would want to prove yourself against an entire party by yourself for bragging rights once we are in your belly.
It is not myself who will be enjoying your meat. I defeat you and feed you to my subjects, to my children, to the people of the Ice Toad Kingdoms. I am a supporter. It is not the king's job to eat everything. I am here to feed the people.
But is not meat one with a challenge not sweeter than that which is easily put on the plate?
You do speak a true statement here, but I must insist that you fight me and give me a charisma check here, or a persuasion.
Yeah, this isn't gonna go well, but I will try.
Could it be an advantage since we're kind of helping him with the discussion?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a penalty to the roll.
He will say, yes, me and 3 of my subjects, you will fight me, and cool, and expiring, and... Can I get a drum roll, please?
I should note, Lotus, your onboard HUD says to you, Akia, or not Akia, Lotus. It's Flavy.
And she just sort of she doesn't want to give away what's going on to the king here, so she just sort of like stands still and just sort of like thinks to things like, yes, I can hear you, in my head.
Lotus, the king, his crown is extremely magical.
You have, can you tell how it is magical?
I believe it is affecting the king's mental capacity in some shape or another. The energies are going directly into his brain.
I see.
All right, I have to keep that in mind. And then she'll think to it and says, like, all right, Flavy, let's enter combat mode.
Instant kill mode activated.
So we're doing this.
Yep, we're doing this.
Yep.
I wish my wild shape was better. I could turn it into something tanky, but nope. Not that kind of druid.
From the hallway, his final subject appears.
Full of mayonnaise.
That guy's still outside eating mayonnaise. I don't know what you're talking about.
And he loves me.
Yo, if this
Well, no,
motherfucker
that's
walks
good.
in with a cape and a sword, I would be mad.
Please be the Scrappy Doo.
Oh, there it is. So you see, walking out of the hallway, an ice toad. It can only be described as having a symbiote-length tongue coming out of its mouth, as the ice toad tongue whipper appears.
The ice toad cometh. No? Nobody?
Mm-hmm. As its tongue ribbles in and out of its mouth, the king will grab everyone here, and roll into initiative. Now, everyone, I know that we started late tonight. Do we want to roll and then cut it quit for there, or do we want to try to do one round? What's everyone's thoughts?
I can go another 30 minutes.
Oh, and I need to give control of the giant owl. I'm going to allow Avalus to control our friend Archimedes.
It's going to be interesting
Actually,
because I will be the one writing it.
What's up, Gaiman? You need to check out?
I do. I got it
Okay.
early morning.
No problem.
Sorry.
So no, you're absolutely fine. So we will end here on. So Gaiman, you won initiative. So next game, I have you activated so that we remember we will start with you. So we will.
That could be incredibly awesome or incredibly dangerous.
Absolutely. So we will start the game next week battling the Ice Toads. I want to thank you guys for all playing. I want to thank you guys for your patience. And I'm glad that we were back this week. I hope you guys all had a good time.
Unforgettable session.
Have any comments, questions, concerns
That's
for me, or
So much cat piss.
so much cat piss on ways to make the sessions better? Please let me know. I think I also, in the announcements section, I put a D&D campaign refresher. So if you have the time and you want to fill that out, please do. I am trying to collect responses for that. That way. Oh my gosh, we got a third fanspo from YOLO Danlo, so I can make the campaign better. All right, I will see you guys next week. I hope you guys have a good weekend. And Mother's Day, everyone, is coming up. It is May 14th, so if you got mamas in your life, don't forget them.
Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks for running.
Hi,
Thanks,
everyone.
mate.
All right, good
Bye.
game. Good night, everybody.
Good game.
Night.
And thanks everyone for tuning in. Catch you next time.